lectures on control systems laboratory. In this video, we will discuss the determination of transfer function of armature control decision motor. We will discuss how to find the transfer function for armature control decision motor. Coming to the aim of the experiment, to determine the transfer function of the armature control DC motor, that is the DC shunt motor we are using, by conducting a suitable experiment and given on the given DC shunt motor. So we need to identify the transfer function for armature control DC shunt motor. What is the main application of this experiment? Once if we know the mathematical modeling of a machine, whether it is a motor or generator, once if you know the mathematical representation of a DC machine, that is a DC motor, then you can analyze the system easily. You can find the stability of the system easily by using either time domain analysis, frequency domain analysis, or a state space analysis. Once if you know the mathematical representation of any machine, then you can easily identify the stability analysis by using either time domain, frequency domain, or state space analysis. Coming to the apparatus required, rheostat type is tubular, and we are using 290 by 2.4 amperes. One, that is this rheostat we are using as a field rheostat. Next, rheostat tubular 14 ohm 5 amperes. This one we are using as a armature rheostat. Two rheostats we are using. One is using as a field rheostat, one is using as a armature rheostat. Field rheostat is 290 ohm by 2.4 amperes. Armature rheostat is 14 ohm by 5 amperes. Coming to the ammeters, we are using two ammeters. One is we are using for measuring the field current, and one more is using for armature current. That is 0 to 1 amperes you are using in field circuit, 0 to 5 amperes you are using in the armature circuit. Voltmeters also two voltmeters. One we are connecting directly across the source to measure the source voltage, and one more we are connecting across the armature, to measure the armature across the voltage or back EMF. And tachometer digital, which we are using for measuring the speed, and stopwatch for finding the mechanical time constant. For measuring the mechanical time constant, we are using a stopwatch. That too we are using analog. Coming to the auto transformer, it is a DC machine, but coming to the electrical parameters, we need to measure the armature resistance and the reactance. For measuring the reactance, we are directly it's not possible. So first we are finding the impedance. That means we are applying the AC voltage to the armature, and then we can identify the armature. And that we can identify the armature impedance. So for applying the AC voltage, we are using the auto transformer that we will see. The circuits is the apparatus required. Coming to the circuit diagram. If you observe this the circuit, here we are having the DC supply giving through a DPST switch. Here we are having a fuses, and this one is the field rheostat. This is the field rheostat, which we are giving to the field circuit. This is the field circuit. Field rheostat is there. From the rheostat we are giving a meter to the field winding, and it is again returned to the source. And here the voltmeter across the source is there to measure the voltage, and one more ammeter we are connected, and this is the armature rheostat. Armature rheostat is given to the armature circuit. So this is the armature circuit, and here the voltmeter we are using to measure the armature voltage across the armature. This is the circuit diagram. And coming to the nameplate details, rated values of the motor. Rated voltage is 220 volts. The rated current of the DC shunt machine is 11.7 amperes, and rated power is 4.2 kilowatts. Rated speed is 1500 RPM. And the main assumptions what we are taking here is at the steady state, when the machine is running at the rated speed at a steady state, we are assuming that whatever the power available in the armature, electrical power, is equal to the mechanical power. Means electrical power is converted into the mechanical power. So power available in armature, that is the electrical power, we are assuming is equal to the mechanical power. That means electrical equivalent of mechanical output and the actual mechanical output are the same. So coming to the electrical constants, back EMF, that one we are assuming equal to the torque constant KT. At a steady state, we are assuming back EMF constant is equal to the torque constant. And we need to identify the transfer function of an armature control DC shunt motor. So we need to know what are the different parameters we need to calculate from this experiment. So for that, we'll check what is the main equation. Transfer function for armature control DC motor, omega of S by EA of S. Omega of S by EA of S equal to KT by KV into KT plus J into S plus B, RA plus S into LA, where KT is the torque constant, KV is the back EMF constant, KV into KT plus JJ is the moment of inertia, B is the viscous friction, and R is the resistance, RA is the armature resistance, LA is the armature reactance. So once if we know the torque constant, the back EMF constant, is mechanical terms J and B, electrical terms RA and LA, then we can identify the transfer function. Now we will see how to conduct the experiment and how to find these all parameters.
Coming to the conduction of armature control DC shunt motor, this is the circuit diagram we are having. Here we are having supply, and next we are having the field rheostat, which is connected to the field winding through a ammeter. And coming to the armature circuit, here we are having ammeter, armature resistance, armature field, armature rheostat, and then armature circuit is there. Now we will connect the circuit and we will start the experiment. If you observe what are the components we are using, this is the field rheostat. The rating will be the 290 ohm and 2.6 amperes. And coming to the armature rheostat, this is the 14 ohm, 12 amperes, 2 ammeters and 2 voltmeters we are using. Coming to the connections from the supply, we are giving the field rheostat first. This is the positive this is the supply, DC supply, positive terminal. From the positive terminal, we are giving to the field rheostat. Field rheostat. On the field rheostat ending terminal, field rheostat ending terminal, we are giving to the ammeter 2.5 amperes rating. This is the positive terminal of the ammeter. And the ammeter ending is the 2.5 amperes. This terminal we are giving to the field winding Z, field winding Z terminal. And the end terminal of the Z field winding Z is given to the supply, this negative terminal. So with this the field circuit is over, and next we will give the armature part. So coming to the armature part, we are getting the input is from either we can give connection from the supply or directly we can take from the rheostat also. So now we are taking from the rheostat. So already rheostat starting terminal is there. From that starting terminal only we are taking the supply to the armature circuit. So this is the armature circuit. This one we are giving to the one more ammeter, ammeter positive terminal. And coming to the armature ammeter ending terminal, that is the 10 amperes. It is the 10 amperes we are giving to the armature circuit, that is the armature A terminal. Armature A terminal. And then armature ending terminal, AA is interconnected to the either ZZZ or directly to the supply. Now we are giving to the ZZZ field winding ending terminal. Right. And now only pending will be the voltmeters. One voltmeter directly we are connected across the source, and one more voltmeter we are connected across the armature. So the voltmeter terminals, positive terminal, red wire we are connecting, and negative terminal, black wire. So this voltmeter we are connecting across the source. That is the red is connected to the positive, and this black is connected to the negative. Right. This voltmeter measures the source voltage. Coming to the one more voltmeter. Coming to the one more voltmeter which is connected across the armature. This is the positive terminal, and this is the negative terminal. Rating will be the 230 volts. That means 250 we are using. So with these connections is over, you can check the connections one more time. That is the positive terminal. Positive terminal directly we are giving to the rheostat, field rheostat. And the field rheostat ending terminal we are giving to the ammeter field current, which is measuring the field current. On this terminal we are giving to the field winding Z, and ZZ is given to the return path, return to the source is the field circuit. And coming to the armature circuit input we are taking from the field rheostat, and this one we are giving to the armature current, this one ammeter, and the armature this ending terminal we are giving to the armature A, and the armature ending terminal we are interconnected to the ZZ. Already ZZ is connected to the negative supply. With these connections is over. Now we will start the experiment, and before starting the experiment, what about the procedure and all? This is an armature control method. In case of armature control method, field circuit is constant. This is the field circuit. This field circuit is constant, and now you vary the armature circuit only. By varying this armature resistance, so automatically current flowing into the armature will change. If the current is changing, automatically voltage will change. Based on that, speed is varying. That we need to cross check. Right? And coming to the tabular column, what and all we need to copy means, first we are changing the armature voltage. Based on that, armature current will come. With respect to the current, we need to copy. Once connections is over, then we need to cross check the positions of rheostats also. Coming to the field rheostat will be always at the minimum resistance position, and the armature rheostat. This is the armature rheostat. Armature rheostat will be always at maximum resistance position. Right? If the position of this rheostat is okay, then we will start the supply. We will turn on the supply and we will try to run the machine. Now we are turning on the supply. The speed of the machine at the starting we need to run the machine at the rated speed. We also know the speed is 1151 only. Now the speed is 1152 only, but the rated speed of the machine is 1500. Rated speed of the machine is 1500. By adjusting the rheostat, first we will adjust the armature rheostat. By adjusting the armature rheostat, we need to get the rated speed. If it is not getting, then we will try to adjust the field rheostat also. First we are adjusting the armature rheostat, and parallel you can observe the speed also. Now we are varying the armature rheostat. We observe the speed is increasing. Our rated speed is 1500, but now speed we are getting for 35. We are increasing. Now if you observe, this is the maximum armature resistance. If you already put it, now once we are getting the 1500. Now we will try to adjust the field rheostat. By adjusting the field rheostat, we will try to get the rated speed. Now we are adjusting the field rheostat. Now you can observe the speed is increasing. Now it is moving 37, 45, 63. We are adjusting the field rheostat. But if you observe, now we are getting almost 11. Yes, we are adjusting the around 1500 exactly. At the rated speed. Now we will start the experiment. That means it is an armature control method. Armature control method means we need to vary the armature resistance. By varying the armature resistance, we need to cross check the what about the voltage drop across the armature, and what about the armature current we need to copy. And while doing the armature control method, field circuit is constant. So the field current is constant. So we will copy the field current value first. Yeah, now the field current is 0.9 amperes. Field current is 0.9 amperes. Right? And coming to the initial value of armature voltage. Armature voltage we are having is, this is the armature voltage. Armature voltage is 107 is there. So that means 107 into 2. right? Here actually scale is for 125, but we are connected to 250, so multiplication factor is 2. So 107 into 2, and respect to armature current is 2.1 amperes. 2.1 amperes, and the speed is 1500. Speed is 1500 RPM. Right? And next we will vary the armature rheostat. Based on that, we need to cross check the speed. Initially the voltage is 107 is there. Now we are changing that voltage. Now we are varying the armature rheostat. Now we are varying the armature rheostat and check the speed. Now speed is 1478. 1478. Voltage now we are having 105. So 105 into 2, and the current value is 2 amperes, and coming to the speed it is 1478. Right? And next again you will change the armature rheostat. You will vary the armature rheostat. Vary the armature rheostat, and now we are getting the speed as 1405. 1405 or 1407 is there. Now the voltage is almost 103. 103 into 2, and the current is 1.9 amperes, and the speed is 1404 RPM. Right? And next again you will change the armature rheostat, that means we are reducing the voltage. Okay. Now you can check the speed. Now the speed we are getting as 1372. Now the voltage is 102 is there, so 102 into 2, current is 1.85 amperes, 1.85 amperes, and the speed is 1370, around 1370, and we will take one more value. We will take one more value. Our previous value voltage is 102 into 2, now we are placing 100 into 2, that is 200 volts we are applying. So if you are applying the 200 volts, what about the speed? Speed we are getting as a 1330. Now we applied the voltage as 100 into 200 volts. For that we are getting the speed as a 1330, and coming to the current value almost 1.8 amperes. Almost 1.8 amperes. This is the armature control method. Once if we know the armature voltage, armature current, and the speed, once if you convert this armature current and armature by using these two, if you find the back EMF, once if you know the back EMF, that is back EMF EB is equal to EA minus IA into RA. Once if you find the back EMF, and you can convert the speed into the angular speed, that means omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60, where n is the speed and omega is the angular speed, angular velocity. We know the already speed, this n we are converting into the omega. Once if you convert, then you can draw the graph between the back EMF and angular speed. From that graph we can identify the back EMF constant. So once if you know the back EMF constant, this is the electrical term, and one more you need to identify, that is the mechanical constant, that is the torque constant. For identifying the torque constant, we need to observe the moment of inertia. That means we are run the machine at the rated speed, and suddenly we are turning off the supply. We are running the machine at rated speed, and we are turning off the supply, and then we are checking the how much time it will take from speed is decreasing from 1500 rated speed to the 0. How much time it is taking, that we need to cross check. For that we are using the stopwatch now. Now again we are running the machine at the rated speed. Now the speed is 1332 is there. Now we are increasing armature rheostat. That means the speed we are increasing to the rated speed. The rated speed is 1500 RPM. Increasing to the rated speed. Now we are getting the rated speed. So now by using the stopwatch, we are applying this stoppers. Now it is already running at rated speed. Now you are suddenly turning off the supply. If you turn off the supply, what about the time it is taking? Speed you are getting to 0, right? 1500 to the 0, that you need to observe. Now it is running at almost at the rated speed. Now we are having the stoppers. Now we are turning off the supply. But now we need to cross check what is the time taking to reduce the speed to the 0. Right? Now speed is reducing. Now 1000, 700, 640. 500, 375, 240. Yeah, now it is coming 0. So it is taking 21 seconds. Now it is taking 21 seconds.
Yeah, these are the values you are getting from the experiment. That means the field current is the constant 0.7 amperes, the field current. And this Tm is the mechanical time constant for finding the moment of inertia. This time taken to get the speed from rated speed to 0 is 21 seconds. And the armature resistance is 1.6 ohm. This armature resistance directly you can measure with the help of multimeter. You can connect across the armature and you can find the armature resistance, that is the 1.6 ohm. And coming to the values, armature voltage is 200. This is the armature voltage. Is the armature voltage and armature current. This is the speed out you are getting from this experiment. Once if you know these three parameters, then you need to identify the back EMF. Back EMF EB is equal to EA minus IA into RA. This the EA is the armature voltage minus IA into RA, where IA is the armature current. You know the armature voltage 200 minus 4.4 into RA. RA is 1.6, then we are getting the 192.6 volts. The same way for remaining values also need to calculate. 190 minus 4.2 into 1.6 is the value. The same way 184 minus 4 into 1.6. Like that we need to calculate the back EMF for all the values, all these cases. Once it is over, then we need to calculate the angular speed. Angular speed is omega. We know the speed rotation, that is RPM, but we need to convert into the angular speed omega. That means omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60, where n is the speed 1500. That means 2 pi into 1500 by 60, which will give the 157.1 radians per second. Omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. Once if we know the speed, then you can convert into the angular speed. Right? So the tabular column. And if you draw the graph, between this EB and if you draw the graph between this EB and omega angular speed, from this graph we can identify the back EMF constant. Once if we draw the graph between back EMF and angular speed omega, EB versus omega, from that graph we can identify the back EMF constant. Once if you know the back EMF constant, which is equal to the torque constant KT, right? Coming to the measurement of resistance, this one directly we can identify by connecting a multimeter across the armature, or we can apply few volts, that means the DC volts, different voltage we are applying across the armature, and average value we are taking. For example, here if we observe the circuit, is the ammeter and voltmeter is connected across the armature, and we are connected a resistance, right? We are applying the 8 volts, and we will check what about the current it is flowing, and once if you know the voltage and the current, then resistance R is equal to V by I, that is the armature resistance equal to VA by IA. Voltage applied across the armature and current flowing in the armature. Once if we know VA by IA, that is 1.6 ohm, 8 by 5. Next, if we apply the 10 volts, means we are getting 6.25 amperes, and if we apply the 12 volts, then we are getting the 7.5 amperes. So once if you know this all, then you can identify the armature resistance, and the average of this value we are taking as a final value, that is the 1.6 ohm. Armature resistance. Directly we can connect across the Directly you can connect the multimeter across the armature, you can find, or like this also you can find. This is the armature resistance, that is 1.6 ohm. Coming to the impedance. For finding the impedance ZA, armature impedance, you need to apply the AC voltage now. That's why we are using the auto transformer. This is the auto transformer. We are giving AC supply to the auto transformer, and the initial position of auto transformer will be 0. And slowly we can increase the voltage across the armature, and we will check what is the current it is flowing and what is the voltage available across the armature. So once if we know the voltage and current, V by I will give the impedance. That means starting we are applying the 9 volts, and we will check what is the current flowing in the armature, and then 10 volts, and then 12 volts. Any voltage you can apply, and with respect to the whatever the current it is flowing, we need to cross check. Once if we know the voltage and current, then you can identify the impedance. So average of this values we are taking as a final impedance, armature impedance. That means we are getting 1.623 as a impedance of the armature. So in previous circuit we are finding the armature resistance, and here ZA is there. Once if you know these two, then you can identify the electrical parameters, that is RA and LA. We can identify easily. Once if you know the armature resistance, RA, once if you know the armature resistance RA and armature reactance XA, that means directly it's not possible. Previously we find the RA and the ZA. Once if you know these two parameters, then you can identify the reactance XA. That means Z is equal to ZA equal to root of RA square plus XA square, where ZA is the armature impedance, RA is the armature resistance, and XA is the armature reactance. We know the ZA and RA previously calculated. ZA is around 7.8 ohms we are getting, and RA is 1.6 ampere. So from that, XA is equal to square root of ZA square and minus ZA square minus RA. So ZA is 7.8. This is square. Here also square will come. Here also square. This ZA equal to square root of RA square plus XA square. From that, XA is equal to square root of ZA square minus RA square. So we know the ZA and RA, we are substituting square root of 7.8 square minus 1.6 square, that we are getting as XA is 7.63. XA is 7.63 ohm. And already we know that X is the reactance, which is equal to 2 pi F LA. LA is the armature inductance. That means from that, LA is equal to XA by 2 pi F, where it is in, we are applying 50 Hz frequency. So LA we are getting as 0.024 henries. That means electrical parameters, that is the armature resistance and armature inductance, RA and LA we calculated. RA is 1.64 and LA is 0.024 ohms. And now we need to calculate the mechanical constant, that is mechanical coefficients J and B, torque constant and the mechanical constant that we need to calculate. First we will check how to calculate the back EMF constant, that is from the graph. First you will see the graph, and then you will see this one determination of moment of inertia J and B, mechanical constants. We will see. Coming to the graph. Graph here we are drawing in between the back EMF versus the angular velocity omega, back EMF versus angular velocity omega. If you draw the graph like this, it will come. From this we need to calculate. We need to take the reference will be the delta of omega. The same thing, delta of back EMF. That means if you draw the graph for these values, and if you take this one, we are taking as a delta change in the back EMF, we are taking as a 7 volts. From the graph it is coming 7 volts, and the speed, that is angular velocity delta omega. Angular velocity is 4. So the 7 by 4 we are getting as a 1.75. So is the back EMF constant. Back EMF constant is 1.75, and which is also equal to the torque constant KT, where KB is the back EMF constant we are finding from the graph, and which is also equal to the torque constant KT. Once if we know the back EMF constant and the torque constant, then we'll see how to find the mechanical constants. Yeah. How to find the moment of inertia J and friction. So coming to the mechanical system, what is the mechanical system? Main equation will come. Here we are having the J and B components. So if you write the torque balance equation, that is Tm equal to J into d omega by dt plus B into omega. And when the machine is running at the rated speed, that is it is running at the steady state. At the steady state means the change in speed is 0. And the motor is running at the steady state, the speed of the motor is constant. So the changes in the speed is 0. The changes in the speed is 0 means d omega by dt value is 0. D omega by dt value is 0. The d omega by dt value is 0 means directly J is equal to 0. So directly we are getting Tm equal to B into omega. So from that B is equal to Tm by omega, where Tm is the torque, mechanical torque developed that you need to calculate. Already omega is there in tabular column. That we are checking at the steady state. That means when it is running at the rated speed. So now the unknown term will be the Tm. How to calculate the Tm? So in case of a DC motor, torque is directly proportional to the field current and the armature current. And if we are removing that proportionality, there we are getting a torque constant. That means the equation will be Kt into Ia. Into If will come, but it is an armature control method. That's why field current is constant. Field circuit is constant. So generally we are taking the armature current only. But coming in our case, here we are changing the armature current and we are finding changing the armature current and we are finding the characteristics. So we are assuming this one as an IF. So we are assuming it's IF. So KT into IF. KT into the field current will give the Tm. It's a torque developed by the motor. So already KT previously back EMF we calculated from the graph, which is equal to the torque constant. So that is 1.75 into field current. What is the field current at the rated speed? That is at no load. When we are running at the rated speed, 0.7 amperes from the table column. So 1.75 into 0.5, 0.7 will give you 1.225. So this is the torque developed by the motor. Torque developed by the motor is 1.225. So if we substitute here, then we are getting the B value. That is the viscous friction. So 1.225 by omega. Omega is rated speed is 2 pi n by 60. That is n is 1500 rpm. So 1.225 by 157.1, which we are getting as 0.078. Mechanical coefficient, that is the friction constant of viscous friction, we are getting as 0.078. And now we need to calculate the moment of inertia J. This one we are calculating from the mechanical time constant. J we are calculating from the mechanical time constant. That is a mechanical time constant. Tm is equal to J into B, J by B. Now we know the Tm value, we know the B value. From the moment of inertia, J is equal to Tm into B. But Tm is the time constant, mechanical time constant, the speed. When we are running the motor at rated speed and we are suddenly turning off the supply and we check how much time it will take to come to the 0. That is previously checked, it is coming as 24 seconds, and 24 into 0.07, it will give the 1.87. Right? So problem this two will give the 1.87. So now we know the J value, B value, REA value, and LA value. Once if we know all these parameters, then we can write the transfer function. That means if we observe the main equation, KT is there already calculated, that is the 1.75, and KB into KT, that is both are equal, so 1.75 into 1.75, which you are getting as a 3.06, and J previously we seen that is 1.87, and B we are getting as a 0.078, and RA armature resistance is 1.64, and LA we are getting as a 0.253. So if we substitute all the values, then this one we call it as a transfer function for armature control machine, armature control DC shunt motor. Once if we know this transfer function, we can analyze the stability easily. Thank you.